Hey everybody, Idiot Boomer here, back in my extremely beautiful recording studio, also known as the office corner, where an assortment of cats watch me waste everybody's time at work and on YouTube. I saw the new trailer for Death Stranding 2 that dropped a couple of days ago. I was going to put something out right away, but as soon as YouTube saw that I had pulled up the trailer and watched it, my homepage got flooded with videos from reactors and streamers and commentators sitting in groups in fancy studios. When I'm surrounded by a lot of shouting people, I tend to take a deep breath and then look like this. And then go do something else until the shouting dies down. So now it's a bit quieter, so I thought I'd slap something out and put it here. As far as I could tell, none of the breathless, eager bots noticed what I did in the trailer, so you, my friends, you brave souls, you will get a new shiny thing that will help you to be as popular as me when you get together with your loud friends. So I did play Death Stranding 1, and 95% of it was really fun and enjoyable. The last 5% was just fine. It was more like, it's enjoyable, rather than really fun and enjoyable. So I am definitely up for the sequel. Going through the trailer made me review my impressions of the first game with an eye to either hoping for more or hoping for an alternative to the slog. First, the overall story. The first one was complex, with lots of twists and layers. Nothing was as it seemed in the beginning, and as the game unfolded, it kept going in unpredictable directions. There's absolutely no way you could legitimately say, yeah, it was kind of obvious, actually, at the end. No, it wasn't. Stop posing. It wasn't a likable story for some people, but the final resolution was odd and confusing enough that there were a lot of people trying to figure out which BB was whose kid and what the hell was up with Amelie. And the writers managed to create a baffling story without resorting to some bullshit Deus Ex Machina cop-out. And then it turns out that Amelie was just a vision in Sam's mind, and he woke up and it was all a dream and everything was fine. Thank you for not doing that. The one thing in the story that sort of put me off a little by the end stems from a little impatience that I have in my own worldview. And you can all criticize me in the comments because I know that my thought processes are weird. My problem is just that it's implausible to me that there's some force in the universe that has the ability to snap their fingers to cancel all life on planet Earth, yet for some reason they also created this weird and overly complicated process to make that happen. Okay, let's see, there will be 6 events, and let's say the first 5, they'll be bad, but not totally bad, but then the 6th one, that'll just wipe out the whole planet clean. But you see, I'm not going to just wipe the planet clean. I mean, I could, but I think what I'll do is I'll just create a way for my plans to be foiled. So if that does happen, then I can be frustrated about it. Just do it then, why don't you? It's like where the scheming psychopath goes to all the trouble of kidnapping James Bond so he can tie him to a table with a laser and then leave the room. You stupid idiot, shoot him in the brain and go take over the world. So, yeah, as long as I can put that to the side, then the story was great. Now, in the sequel, there's absolutely no way to guess ahead of time whether the studio will make a good story or not. So I will be optimistic but cautious, as always. What the trailer did make clear is that overall, the game is a continuation of the lives of many of the characters that we know about. At least part of the story looks to be that little Louise is taken by Higgs and his people. And if I were to guess, and I will, thank you very much, I would guess that this will probably be the motivation for Sam to walk a very long way delivering packages in the same way that connecting up the UCA served that purpose in the first game. Assuming I got it right based on what I saw, this would be something that happens early on in the game, and there's no way that he would get her back half an hour later. Because then, after an emotional reunion, there wouldn't be much point to a game where Sam and Louise walk all around the UCA fighting BTs as they deliver cold fries from McDonald's to a bunch of people around the country that cancel his tip after he leaves. Along with a wild story, the first game's world itself was beautiful and yet unpleasant and creepy at the same time. I found the BTs and Timefall really unsettling. Not terrifying, it didn't feel like horror, but unclean, maybe poisoned. Running with mummified people in body bags strapped to my back was absolutely unwholesome. In a good way, but still really unwholesome. The magnificent views were similarly tainted by Timefall. the golden hands, the black goo. There's just no escape from it. It's looking like the vibe stays very consistent in the second game, nothing jarring like, oh, but now it's chapter 2 and Sam journeys to London where all the BTs are wearing bowler hats and carry umbrellas. Toodle chaps. I wouldn't expect that, but I've been surprised before. Another thing that I liked in the first one that I hope gets a green light in the sequel was the mechanism where things you built with your resources also appear in the games of other players. The same with the boxes that you dropped or abandoned. They can be picked up and delivered by other people. This sense of isolation in the game where interaction with actual people in the same place almost never happened. You knew in your mind that you weren't alone on the planet, but yes, you really are alone. It's also a big deal for me when I see anything in the world that isn't aggressively tribal and or narcissistic. You know, this is mine, you can't have it. Or our team are the winners and you get nothing. Here in this game, I'll put a rope ladder here. That'll be useful. And then, well, then I'll just leave that here for somebody else I'll never meet in another part of the world that might find it useful. Old guy secret, it's okay to be like that sometimes. It wouldn't be a disaster if they didn't keep that mechanic, but I think I'd miss it a little. Tied in with the major story plot, one of the major mechanics of the first game was the struggle to deliver stuff from place to place. You had to learn to not fall over, how to climb, how to get down again, how to cross rivers, how to make roads. Oh! That was another awesome thing I just remembered. I was so blown away when I saw that the game would start to mini terraform. You follow the same path and the game started to mark and then slightly improve the terrain as you went. And then a little bit more. I was really impressed by that. I thought it was so cool. Anyway, so the strategy and learning and therefore the feeling of success when you completed deliveries, it felt really good. It was challenging enough without having you fail at every step of the way. But, and this was kind of the 5% for me, by the very end of the game, I was starting to feel on the inside like I really had run from one side of the US to the other. It sort of wore me out, and I think that's one of the reasons I only did one playthrough of the game. For me, at least, the rewards got less satisfying because they were pretty much the same each time, and I stopped needing the payments after a while. To be fair, this might very well be a self-inflicted wound, since in the early zones, I was really chuffed to reach 100% completion for all of the goals. And maybe if I had only done enough deliveries to keep going, it wouldn't have gotten old. Don't know. But for the sequel, I'm wondering how much DoorDash work is going to be required. And if it's a lot, which I assume it will be, I'm hoping that the studio has found a way to make it interesting or necessary enough so that it's not tedious all over again. Because everybody who plays the sequel, having played the first game, will have done all of those deliveries in the first game. And there's a question mark about how many of them were semi-worn out with it like I was. Could be, not that many. But anyway, I promised myself that I wouldn't make a 20-minute video about a really simple subject, so let's get to the thing that I spotted that should convince everyone on the fence to absolutely pre-order and get the game. What? Am I going to pre-order it? Oh no, absolutely not. They don't need my money early. And no matter who the studio is these days, I'm waiting for every game to come out to hear whether the game actually runs and is actually any good. Besides, why bother with pre-ordering? It's not like they're going to run out of copies a week before the game comes out, right? Or, oh dear, there's a big storm in town and DHL can't fly my copy of a digital game to my house. Just saying. Also, you know what? There's a bunch of those Feed Me Now viewers out there who just jumped right to the footage that I have here so that they can roll their eyes and jump out again. You, on the other hand, have struggled through this boring commentary to get here, which makes me feel both a little guilty, but also very proud of you. So if you're not in great pain at this point, and you're also not subscribed, and you think that it might be worth it to watch another video that I make, see where I'm going here. If you do that, you'll probably get notified when that happens. My next video, because these guys, they won't see that. My next video will be 2 straight hours of AI grizzly bears doing a dance I got from a random teenage girl on TikTok. It's gonna rock. Okay, I'm gonna start up again. So this footage, slowed slightly down for effect, is all that you need to know. You guys, they have a cute goo kitten with little wings in this game. Holy cow, this is just the best. This little girl here is also a goo kitten, and she's about the same size as the one in the game, but she doesn't have wings. I wish she did have wings, but it's better that she doesn't since she's a bossy little terror already. So there we have it. Death Stranding 2, new cats, gotta play it. Oh, yeah, it's cat grass and catnip. You surprised? Nah, nobody ever is. All right, good enough. Thanks a million. Good to see you. Let's do this again sometime, okay? I'll make a new video. See you soon.